Namaskar. Hello and welcome to P Guru's channel. I'm your host Sri Iyer, and today I have once again with me Elmer Yuen, whom you all had the pleasure of hearing a couple of weeks ago. Elmer, hello and welcome to P Guru's channel.
Hi, friends from
Uh,
India.
Thank you so much. And Elmer, we are going to touch on two topics today. The first one, I'm going to jump right to it. What I have been noticing, Elmer, is the share prices in China's for-profit education market are plunging, and officials in Beijing are announcing broad restrictions to this booming private tutoring sectors. This industry is about 120 billion strong, and what they're saying is that this industry, the way they teach stuff, is bringing on a lot of pressure on the students, and they want to make it easy, and therefore they want to take away this subject from private and make it public. So make it, they don't want it as for profit, but they want to make it not for profit. Now, these things are sudden, and I think only a country like China can do it, because in US or in India, there'll be four people going to different courts. They would have brought a stay order, and I mean, you've been through that. You know, Hong Kong is similar. So my question to you, sir, is this is a huge industry. In fact, even in the United States, many of the stocks that were traded, they have, declined by a big margin. Why do you think China has taken this drastic step?
I think you have just seen the tip of the iceberg on dramatic changes in China. And of course, this change will also include the change of relationship with India and with America and so on and so forth. But I need to give you a background. Uh, uh, you are the world's biggest democracy, no question about it. And in the last, I know, roughly what, 70 years of
Yes.
your founding, you basically, because it's a democracy, you move very slowly, all right? Very slowly, economic wise and social wise, very slowly. Yet, nobody died, all right? Nobody died of abnormal death, natural death, of course. China is not a democracy. In 1949, the communists took over. And the communist doctrine is they want to do away with all private ownership, all right, or private capital. They want to have state capital. So, in a way, they are very much like what the Nazi, National Socialism. They are running a socialism, but all the capital is controlled by the nation. So National Socialism, very much like Nazi, but even to the extreme that they believe in total ownership of capital, total control of the capital by the party, not by the state. Let's be very clear. So, but unfortunately, like they followed the Soviet model, a disaster. And then Mao took over, used his model with the big leap forward, tried to do it his way, bigger disaster. By the time Mao died, the country is in total chaos, especially economics. So Deng Xiaoping took over. They arrested the Gang of Four, which are basically the Mao's followers, and Deng Xiaoping, which is a pragmatist, all right, short little guy, but he's always been doing groundwork for the communists. And he took over. He knew at that time this cannot last. All right, they are going to go bankrupt, and not only China will go bankrupt, and that would mean the end of the Chinese Communist Party. So he took over a different policy. I want to put it simply, all right? He called this opening up and a reform, all right? Open and reform. That's what he called his campaign from 1977. He took over running the country. And at that time, in order to revive the Chinese economy, it was in terrible shape. I've been visiting, 72, 76, and it's the first factory to set up in China from Hong Kong, first in 1977. It was a disaster. When I walked in, people are starving, literally starving, and they are wearing the same clothes everybody wears the same clothes because they produce the same color, they produce the same cotton, etc. So it was a total disaster. So Deng Xiaoping decided in 1977, decided to allow private capital. Before was everything was public capital. Even selling cigarettes or selling matches, it can only be handled by state. The, the company or the operation itself has to be controlled by the state. And the state means communism, means party, all right? In China, state and party, they mix it up. So you may as well call it the party. So they decided to allow private ownership, private capital, meaning they allow people like in India, you do business, right?
Right, right, right.
So his follower is Jiang Zemin, and then who used a prime minister called Zhu Yongji, and basically he sold off all the big public state companies, all right, close them down, let the people go, pay the minimum unemployment welfare, and that was in the early 2000s. All right, he was one term, but that one term, other than Shanghai, the entire China have been privatized from state ownership to private ownership. Even state companies are being disposed or liquidated or sold to private person, and that's why. And this is the beginning of the change. Right? So they allow, and they went actually way over. Other than Shanghai, Shanghai is still very much state owned. Even vegetable distribution is state owned because Shanghai has been running communism quite successfully. Quite, I don't want to use the word quite successful. At least they're in black, not in red. So what happened is they allow, and then of course the country like United States and Europe and Hong Kong and Japan, we saw they were liberalizing the economy into a market economy, from a planned economy to a market. So we thought they were giving up communism, but in fact they were desperate. They need to revive their economy with outside help. So all the money were going into China to set up private factories, private companies, and I had started with three, and I also joint venture with Japan. We were hiring 60,000 people, and China was very lucky. The people was not employed anyway, as they had farm people not employed. So the farm people came to the city to work in these factories. They are basically free. You understand? They were not making any money anyway. So they came and they make some money, which is their salary, right? They're talking about $100 US a month at that time. All right, I'm talking about early 2000. And then that $100 US a month, they save it up so that the girls, mostly, I'm sure in India you have the same. The girls are working in the factory. They are able to go back to their factory and choose their own husband. You understand? Otherwise, the party will arrange somebody for you. So this is their biggest dream. And all of a sudden, you have, let's say, 50 million people, all right, coming to the cities, working in these industrial estates and factories, foreign joint venture factories, and so on and so forth. And they're very cheap labor, very obedient, no welfare because when they leave, there is no retirement, there is no medical, there's nothing. This is a clean and simple cash payment, and they live in a dormitory. They love to have overtime. They work two shifts because if they want to make one shift, it's not enough. If they work two shifts, they get 200 US a month instead of 100. So they would quit if you don't give them overtime, if you don't allow them overtime. Yeah, can I continue?
So, yeah, I just wanted to recollect my experience of visiting China in
Oh, you did?
2001. Yeah, in
Mm,
2001, it was 2 weeks after 9/11.
yes,
25th September, I left from San Francisco. Those days, you had to come to Hong Kong. Then it's
yes.
a 3-hour bus crossing to get into
Hmm.
what's the other city? Shenzhen,
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 Shenzhen.
Shenzhen.
Yeah. Hmm.
So the city that the factory that I had to go was a place called Tangsha, and that's another further 100 or 2 hours or so.
Dongguan, Dongguan.
Dongguan province. Yes, yes, yes,
Dongguan,
yes,
yes.
yes, yes.
I built the world's biggest golf course in between Shenzhen and Dongguan,
Oh
occupying both
wow,
places.
wow.
Biggest in the world.
So I still remember the factory floor was in the middle and the dorms were all around, and these kids, like what you said, two shifts, and the third so the same bed was being used among different people, because one shift the guy comes out to work, somebody else is sleeping in that bed. So it was pretty tough. I mean, they had packed them like sardines in a can. So please continue.
So anyway, this means suddenly these workers are producing products like iPhones, all your communication gear, everything we see in Walmart and in Target and Costco. All right, could be furniture, could be dress, could be anything. All right, and these products are mainly for export, right? So when they are exported, the Chinese got paid in foreign currencies. Could be anywhere. And U.S. of course is the major customer. And that money, the communist central bank, which is the People's Bank of China, they took the foreign currencies and they gave this funny money called RMB to the
Yes.
workers, to pay the overhead for the factory, to pay the engineers, to pay the managers with the funny money, all right? And they are very happy because they were making so little. All of a sudden, they have this funny money. And like I told you, the girls can go back to the village and marry somebody she loves. So that was the story. So suddenly, this is becoming this was on the roll. So everybody in the world, because nobody can compete with them. Their labor is basically nothing. It's just paying them $100 a month. And US, you are talking about maybe in order to do with all the benefit and the welfare, you're talking about 3-4 thousand a month. How can 104,000 be compared?
Right.
Any country, no country in the world can compete with the Chinese labor. And these are very good labor, all right? Very intelligent. Farming is not easy. To be able to farm, you have to keep certain routines, right? And work very, very hard. And it's a very well, it's good. The farming process. If you learn the farming process, the assembly of electronic parts or making furniture, if you break down the labor, it's very easy compared with farming. Farming, you have to do it. One family has to do everything from growing, from sowing the seed all the way to harvest, and
Right.
to able to sell and package and sell. It's a very long process, over almost a year. So suddenly for them, this is a piece of cake to work in the factory. I'm sure your Indian workers have the same. It's
Oh
nothing,
yes.
right?
Oh yes.
I
Oh
mean,
yes.
it's so there is no technology. There's nothing at all right, and no retirement. So everybody, and they only use the youngest in their or in their late teens or early 20s. By the time they are 30, they love to go home and get married and have children, right? So it's kind of work out for everybody. But in the meantime, China took over all the factories in the world. There's no room for India to grow because you cannot compete with them. And they also, not only the product is very low cost because labor is cheap, land is cheap, management is cheap, engineering is cheap, so you cannot compete with them. All right, and they start producing, making the raw material as well. So they became the workshop of the world.
Right.
That is how China grew to be so rich today. And India is trying to imitate, but it's not easy. If you guys want to learn, you invite me to India. All right, I teach you how to do it. I was the first factory, I'm not joking with you, to start this whole operation, teaching them how to make money with the minimum capital. All right, and using cheap labor, cheap land, and also your own market. India is very lucky. You have your huge market. You have to make use of it. The problem is you can still have a democracy and do all this. The
Yes.
communists are doing it. They were almost democracy at that time in the early when you were in China in the early 2000s. They were almost. It's quite free. There is no oppression of any sort. All right. So this was what happened when Deng Xiaoping took over, and it went on in the 90s very successfully. U.S. gave them the most favored nation treatment. And then Clinton allowed them into the WTO, all right? And they promised all kinds of things in 2001. So they had a really good years, 90s, 2010, and for let's say 10, almost one to let's say almost 20, 30 years. All right, they had a good 30 years after the Tiananmen, from 1989 to 2019. So this was the system. It's some of the enterprises are still state owned, but controlled by the big family like a business because they take advantage of it. They have partly ownership. It's a public company, so some shares, of course, belong to the state, but some shares belong to these families, and some shares belong to the public, like in U.S. or Hong Kong or in China. So this was a kind of a nice combination of state enterprises and private enterprises. So I like to use it. State capital and private capital were working together and growing China. So we say, okay, certain industry like electricity, generator, power generator, grid, the oil distribution, and so on. people people say, okay, this is state owned, and you have to be very powerful. So they grow, the state enterprises grow, and the private enterprises grow also, and they were cheating. All right, the exporting to the United States, they agreed to all the rules at WTO, and they never follow through. They were cheating. They were exporting all over the world. They don't allow the world's product to come into China to compete with them. All right, they play all kinds of games. So until Trump came along, they were making a lot of money, and they were making so much money. We're talking about they made more close to 30 trillion US dollars. I'm talking about export, talking about IPO outside China, including Hong Kong and US, and even London and Frankfurt. All right, they were borrowing money from overseas, all right, paying high interest. So altogether, their foreign currency inflow is like 30 trillion. They probably spent 10 trillion on buying things like oil and the minerals and iron ore and so on and so forth, and food and etc. And also they allow a limited amount of Chinese to go out and shop, and they buy some luxury goods to keep people happy. So everything works out. Everybody's happy.